Good evening. Hello. I know I'm early. Few things happened throughout this week and today. I am extremely tired. So I'm probably going to be in bed by the time my actual broadcast was due to go out. So I'm going to do it now instead. Makes sense, really, doesn't it? I can't do it from asleep. So sorry about that. Today we have issue 8 of the Combat Patrol magazine. And me being the absolute goober and idiot that I am, didn't bother to count the models last time, and you only actually got 6 Termagaunts and 1 Ripper Swan base. You didn't get any bases because the bases all come with this one, which just came with 4 Termagaunts. So yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't need to do all the cutting out of these bases, but I'm going to keep them there for future reference to remind me how big of an actual moron I can be. Good evening, Kesa. How are you doing? Thank you for coming to join me. So, yes, if you've got issue 7 and you're wondering no bases, I said there should have been bases. Apparently, I was wrong because there was only 7 models in total in there. The other 4 came with issue 8, as well as the bases. So, hopefully, this is now going to tell us that this is not going to tell us how they go together, because it told us that in issue 7. And it did go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and count all the way through in numbers. You're ill. Is that a good ill or a bad? I'm tired. I am tired. I am worn out. This week has worn me out, and today has worn me out ridiculously. But thank you for asking. I hope you're ill in the good, down like kids way, like yeah, proper ill man. If you're not and you're not feeling well, then please get. I hope you feel well soon. Oh, bad ill. No. In that case, yes. Please do feel better. I hope you feel better soon. Get your feet up. Get nice and rested. That should be. Hopefully that'll work. Plenty of liquids and nothing too serious. I really hope. But thank you for coming to spend your time with me tonight, or this afternoon, or this morning, depending on where you are in the world. So I was an idiot last time, yes, and didn't add up all the pieces right. So 10 Termagants, 1 Ripper Swan base. And then we get another 2 issues like this again later on, I think we do. So I'm just going to put one together to prove my point that the bases do work and you do get them. I've just got to find number 1. Oh, there's 2 and 3. There's 1. There's 4. Excellent. So we have 1. Again, being extra careful with the snips. As much as I can be, anyway. Good evening, Kirsty. You're England. Excellent, Kesa. Hi, Lars. Take care. Okay. Good evening, Kirsty, and take care as well. I don't know if that's because you're diving in and out, going over to see Nick, or because I've got snips in my hand and you're aware that I'm a blithering idiot. It's got to be one of the two. So, because I've not got the magazine out from last week, I'm going to try and do this one. Oh, the free mini. Oh, cool. What is the free mini this month? Because I've not looked. I don't usually go get the free mini because, yeah, I mean, paying Games Workshop prices. Although I am aware that by the time I finish collecting the next, I think it's the first 20 issues in total, and it completes off the Tyrannid and the Space Marine Combat Patrol sides. By the time you finish getting them, it works out about the same as buying them from a third-party retailer. Which isn't bad if you was going to buy them anyway. I just happen to have both armies and could always do with a few extra bits to either use for basing or to bulk out as a certain type of force if I wanted to. So extra Termagaunts, always good to flesh out the battle line. Okay, so we have claw number 1 and claw number 2 and leg number 2 on. Next, it's 3 and 4. Good evening, Twisted. Good evening. Oh, so you've actually got a nice GW store near you. Oh, that's good. I have a city centre store near me. And to be quite honest, I don't think they want me in there. It doesn't feel very welcoming when I go in, put it that way. I also have a couple of town centre ones near me as well, but there isn't enough room to swing a grot, let alone a cat. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, and then it's 3 and 4 making up his arms. So something tells me I'm going to have a better time if I put this arm on first, because this arm has a little bit of armor plating at the top. So it should slide into place, hopefully. How are you doing this evening, Twisted? Are you working on anything weird and wonderful? Any new bases that are going to make me go, I'm giving up? Although I haven't seen much of Case's work, I'm assuming it's 2 will put mine to shame. So that's a quick demonstration on how they go together. It'll generally be the same across all 10. You just got to make sure you get that firm crunch and make sure it clicks in there. And VI. Yeah, it's the same as the one. So it sounds like the same as over here as well. If you're in a chair, you've got no chance of actually going into a Games Workshop store. Luckily, we do have third-party shops like Element Games and places like that do have wheelchair accessible points that you can go to, and you can get in and get around easily. So there are people who look out correctly for the hobbyists, but yeah, I don't expect anything more than trying to steal my money from Games Workshop. Oh, if you're doing editing, I am not the right person to be talking to. I do not like editing. I do not edit. Or I should say I have done, and I don't want to do it again. Okay, so now we have, getting back on track, Combat Patrol Issue 8, remember where I'm up to. So now we have 1 Termagant. Now, what I thought last week we should have got all these. Apparently get them in this issue, not last week's issue. Once you've put them together, they pop into the base, and ta-da, 1 finished model. Well, 1 put together model. The big base, however, this one, so you'll get 10 of the little ones and 1 of these. This one's for the Ripper Swarms. Now, the Ripper Swarms are usually quite simple if you can find the little bleeders. There's 1. Okay, so it's usually, there's a left and a right, and they'll clip together somehow. So in this case, it's 41, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, because 40 will be the last number for the 10th one, isn't it? They've not actually give us enough paints to do them all yet. By the time the first 20 issues are out, we'll have blue, gold, black, grey, white. I think we'll have lead belcher, so we can cover the gunmetal side as well. That'll be by issue 20, as far as I'm aware. Then, technically, you could paint a Space Marine with just those colours, especially if you're following their tutorials to paint Ultramarines. So by issue 20, you should have all the paints you need to paint both sides in the way that they want you to. I have to say that because they won't give me enough paints to paint them the way that I want them to. Because I want different paints. If that makes sense. I hope it does. Yeah, not a good idea to have your cat as a producer. Certainly not a good idea to have your cat as an editor. Maybe the star of the show, not a bad idea. But you're certainly not a cat as a producer. Lovely cat, though. I've got to say, absolutely beautiful cat. Right, so once you've actually clipped all 4 pieces off, you'll notice that there's 2 with little nubbly bits and 2 with little side pins. So you get one with a nubbly bit, and you get one with a side pin. And you pop the pin in, essentially, and that'll pair 2 of them up for you. So in this case, I'm going to have to, and then that one little peg goes in one of the 2 holes on the big base. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. I suppose I really am going to have to do another painting video on at least Tyranids and Space Marines, aren't I? Or at least another live stream. I will be doing prep work first though, so I will be basing them black, dry brushing them with ivory, and then I will come back with my colour scheme, because obviously I have one each for Space Marines and Tyranids, and go through. I don't think I've actually done it properly. Especially for a Space Marine, go through from start to finish and just do it. All of it at once. The Infernus Marines are probably going to be the easiest ones to do it on, because it is just a standard Space Marine. It's got a flavour instead of a belt gun, that's all. Okay, so once you've put the 2 halves together and then fit each of the little peg bits into one of the holes, or in my case, half into one of the holes because I've not put that one in properly. I don't advise using cutting devices as leverage tools. But if it's all you've got to hand, then that's what you have to do. So by the time you finish it, you'll have a Ripper Swarm base. So 1 of these and 10 of these are what you'll get over issues 7 and 8. Now, what else do we get with issue 8? Because obviously we get the models, we know that. And issue 7, last time it told us how to do a bit of shooting. That was fun. It's got a lot of reading in this one. It goes through their paint system. So following their painting guide again, which for Tyranids is at this moment in time is quite simple. It's paint it all Wraithbone, all of it. Then get your burgundy that they give us, and paint up all the armor pieces. Even on the little, on top of the little Ripper Swarms there, paint them all up. You're still waiting for that second delivery. That's how it is. 1 and 2 is your first. 3, 4, 5. You should have well got your. Get an email off onto them, Casey. Get an email off onto them. So where's my delivery? Because if they get behind, you'll get way far behind. I mean, it might have its advantages, but yeah, if you're waiting for a specific model, then yeah, you got it. It's not nice to be waiting for it. Ooh, see, I can't do object source slicing. I cannot do it. Tried it, but it failed miserably. So if you're following their painting tutorials, they should look something like that by the end, which is all Wraithbone except for the parts where you've painted the burgundy to do the purple armor. Was I smart enough to leave a Tyrannid out? Yes, I was. So, like when I'd said in my case, all these bits which were done purple, everything else. So where I've done green and yellow, well, everything else will be left Wraithbone for now. Lots of reading stuff about the lore, and my monotones do not do it any justice. So this one is about the Imperium again in the first half, and it looks, Tempestus Scions is what they've got showing there, which are very nice. So that is going into the Astra Militarum and basically the humans, the meat for the grinder. And then it tells us about the second Tyrannic War after the first one, which I believe was the invasion of Macragge. I'm not sure entirely. No, that would be the second Tyrannic War, is the invasion of Macragge. Let's see, does it tell me where the first one took place? No. Just tells us that it was High Fleet Behemoth. Nice. So Kraken was already here and Behemoth came in for the second swoop. Oh, lovely. And then tell us more about the Tyrannids as a great devourer, being the consumer of biomass, which is how they keep themselves going. They eat and eat and eat, and if they can't eat it, they don't like it. So the Necrons are safe. Good evening, Ali. Thank you for coming to join me on the second screen that you've got up. I know you've got Nick up. Don't try and pretend you're working. Yeah, non-metallic metal. I've not even attempted yet. That might be the case with me, Twisted. I'm going to have to sit down and have someone teach me non-metallic metal. I am going to a place where there are some other YouTubers that might be able to teach me if they have the time and my missus will spare the time, but I've got to clear it with the boss first. So next, the lore section covers a small section on the Imperium and more on the Tyranids. By the looks of it, you're going to get in each magazine lore around the specific factions that they're doing at that time. So whatever comes after Tyranids and Space Marines, I should imagine we'll get lore about those in those magazines. Again, it lets you name your fleet. You have little units, usually on a D3, or given backgrounds. And then it's going to tell us how to make a charge. Charges are fairly simple. You have to be within an inch of your opponent. The maximum you can possibly get is the 12, because you roll 2 dice. So for sheer argument's sake, Mr. Space Marine here is going to be charging to see, first of all, if it's possible. Yes, so long as he gets at least a 5, he will actually be within an inch of him. So 5 will be there, and obviously that is with 6 overlap, so he'll be within an inch. So he needs 5 as a minimum. Oh no, it's late in the month. I've got like 7 days left for October. I've not done a single arc this month. Thank you, Twisted. I'm going to have to do something about that. Maybe on Monday. Yeah, Monday models and musings is going to have to be archy, I think. Yeah, definitely. So, Right, back to the charging phase. So you would roll 2 dice. We know how bad my dice rolling is. He's going to fail this charge. So you would roll 2 dice. For argument's sake, in this instance, I rolled a 1 and I rolled a 2. So I give me a total of 3 inches. So I would not be able to charge it. It's a failed charge. I don't get to move into combat. I don't get to move at all. However, if he'd have rolled a 5, it would have put him within an inch. That's where the charging section ends. Thank you very much, Ali, and you have fun over being on the bar. Sorry. So in this case, we've done a successful charge at 5 inches, leaving us about half an inch to actually get to the model. At the start of the fight phase, which comes after the charge phase, you will do all your charges first, and then you will declare which order you're picking them to fight in. So I choose the Space Marine first, as is Space Marine went first, so it is his turn. You then do something called consolidate or piling, so which is displayed down here. Now essentially, at the start of the fight phase, you get a free 3-inch move. And then that's how you can close down that final half inch to get into base-to-base contact, and then bring anyone else who wasn't quite in range but was in range of him would then get the 3 inches as well to move in and help surround and trap. And yeah, so you roll 2d6 to see how far you can move. First of all, well, you measure to see you are in 12 inches to see if there's even a possible charge. Then you roll 2d6. If you can get within an inch, you don't have to get into base-to-base contact. You just have to get within an inch, even if it's only a little tiny fraction. So, yeah, okay. You can roll an 11, and if they're overlapping that by that much, and you get to there, you are within an inch. Not if they're there, but if they're there, that you are. So it's close, but you can just about make it. Don't think, it's got to be a perfect number. Go for it if you want to, because there is a chance you could make it. As long as you can get close enough with at least one model, then the rest of the unit can come up behind with the rest of the roll that you got. Then at the start of the fight phase, you get the 3 inches to move in and close the gap. Once you've done that, it works as a general fighting step. So you will roll to hit, roll to wound, applying modifiers, of course, if necessary, make armor saves or invulnerable saves, resolve damage, remove models as necessary. It does give us a little scenario to play out, which we know from past experiences my desk is not big enough to do this on. Now it's given us, put the mat out again, have the Infernus squad here at the bottom, a Tyranid terrain, 2 pieces of Tyranid terrain, the full unit of Termagaunts, and the 3 von Ryan's Leapers. So in this mission, if you wish to run it, you win this mission when the last Infernus Marine is slain. However, should all your Tyranid models be slain, the Space Marines win. Keeping the rules for charging close to hand where you play, as you will need them to secure victory. So this is you're playing as the Tyranids. Supposedly, you're playing both sides, but you're playing as the Tyranids trying to wipe out the Space Marines. And this is for you to do it with fighting phase, hopefully. So you move your movement phase first, which is move the von Ryan's Leapers unit a distance equal to their movement. He says you can either put them in, leave the Termagaunts in cover, or move them out. Try and keep the von Ryan's Leapers out of range of the flamethrowers. Always a good idea. when you can declare a charge, generally you can make a charge because the average is 7 inches, as it does point out there, what you'll roll on 2d6. And then if you make the charge, you will go into the fight phase and enter the fight phase. Once it's the Infernus Marines, if they're not locked up in close combat, they take their movement and their shooting as they would normally, providing they could draw a line of sight to a target. So a little tip here, as it's shown here, the Termagant unit is behind the terrain piece at the moment, so they can't be seen. If you were to move them out, then some of them would be able to be seen, therefore be shot at because we're within 12 inches. And then continue there. So the Von Ryan's Leapers move further down. The Termagants, whatever survived, moves further down. Both charge and are hoping to finish off the Marines in close combat. Now then, the bit that everyone actually really wants. Next two issues. Issue 9 is gold and black. And as I said earlier, that's two of the paints we will be getting. We will be getting, I believe it's a grey and white scar as well within the next 4 or 5 issues. But once we're done with the paints, we get the Librarian in Terminator armor and a medium base brush, which isn't a bad brush actually. I still have one of mine, I believe. Medium base brush. This is actually the one that I got not with the last magazine that Hachette run for Warhammer 40,000, but the one before it. So this is a good few years old now as well. It still functions relatively well as a base brush or a synthetic dry brush. I don't use it for any detail work, but it works well. And you will get a free one with issue 10, along with that Librarian, which is a very nice model. A good saving on that one as well. Character models from Games Workshop are usually between £25 and £30. So £10 for a character model, and you get a free brush as well. Excellent. So that'll be my coverage and my review of Combat Patrol issue 8. Not a great issue. Finishing off a Termagant squad. So £20 for a Termagant squad, when if you spent a little bit more money on some starter boxes and things, you could get a lot more, and you get a Space Marines as well that you could sell off to recoup some of the money. But if you don't already collect them and you've subscribed, then it is a nice little force that you're going to get. We will be getting the Parasite of Mortrex soon as well. I think we'll get that after we get the Terminators. So we've still got Terminators, Parasite of Mortrex, Psychophage, and I think is it Chaplain on a Bike are left to go. So it's three models left to go. 4 models because we know about the captain. So he's one. Terminators were split over 2 issues. So that's 2, 4. So yeah, starting from issue 10, we should have 5 issues of models. No, 7 issues of models and 3 issues of paints. The Psychophage will take two magazines. The Terminators will take 2 magazines. Librarian will take 1. Parasite of Mortrex will take 1. Chaplain will take 1. And then we'll get 3 sets of paints within that. So I'll try and find out what those paints are for next time. Make a note of it. If I can find a pen. What paints before issue? I was looking for something to write on. I've got a magazine here. That would be perfect to write in it. What paint before issue 20? I'm pretty sure 20 is the Chaplain. So, again, I'll say thank you to everybody who's come to join me this evening. Twisted, Alison, thank you for coming. Kesa, again, thank you for turning up. Kirsty, thank you for popping your head out your rabbit hole for a second. And Beaky, thank you for coming in, as well as Joey right at the end. Yeah, I'm not sending you that 5,000 quid that I promised you, because I promised to send it to you in microscopic money. I sent it in an envelope. Your government said it was wrong, and they confiscated it. Take it up with your government. But yeah, cheers for popping in at the end, guys. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm going to go. See you all next week, or later on this week, because I've still got another cat to paint. Forgot about painting the cat. Oh, my head has been so messed up. Right, yes, I still have a cat to paint this week, so I will see you again this week at some point, and back with models and musings on Monday. Thank you for coming, and yeah, drive safe. Yeah, it's a government workers. Of course, it's a government workers' fault.